welcome back to another episode of Meet the Students, the series where we showcase some of our best students in our all our business development courses. Today with me there is Jessica. Hi, Jessica. How are you?
Hi, Lucia. Good, good. How are you doing?
Very good, thank you. So Jessica actually finished the course this summer, two courses actually. She's going to talk a little bit more about that. But I would say without further ado, I will leave her the floor and maybe you can tell us a little bit more about you, Jessica, and then I will be asking you some questions.
So, a little bit of a background. So professionally, I was an architect until solely an architect until not so long ago. So I started working in business development for an architecture firm early this year. So it's been almost a full year right now. It all started because the directors kind of saw that I had the character for this type of role. So, and I was interested into trying and seeing how it is. What is the business development for an architecture firm? I was already into all of the marketing aspects, social media, branding of an architecture firm before. So I was like, why not get to know about the business development and kind of have this full understanding on everything, all those components that form a successful, let's say, architecture studio. So this is how it all started, and here we are doing BD for the past month.
Ah, nice, nice. I always love when people come in BD from a different background, especially if it's a more technical background, like architecture, engineering, and so on, because I feel it gives you such an edge, especially if you're talking to partners or clients and so on. You really have the technical knowledge about what you're doing, so you automatically have more credibility, right? So hopefully that helped you as well.
Exactly. It's very niche at some point. Like I think they did have other people as BD before that didn't stay for long because they were either really like just doing sales before or just working in totally different field and it didn't click and connect with, you know, the actual audience. They didn't know what they were talking about. They didn't know what, the architecture, the projects really represented. So I guess the conversation is much smoother in this way, indeed.
Totally, totally. So, well, considering you're a new BD, we can say, right? So, why did you join the BD school? What were the challenges that you were facing before joining the BD school?
So let's say since I started this role totally on my own, like I didn't have anyone to guide me through it. I didn't have like no one passed me this role from like a previous BD. I was like kind of learning everything all by myself. It was like kind of a trial and error, trying to understand everything that defines BD. What am I supposed to do? How do I call people? How do I reach out to people? Like all of these things. How am I at the end of the day supposed to bring a client to the company? So for how long was it? For like I think 5 months, I kind of did this whole thing on my own. Like it was an intense learning curve of, watching a lot of stuff on YouTube, reading a lot of things, reading books even. And then at some point when I started feeling like I'm starting to understand kind of all those components, I feel like I still need, a structure to all of this. I need like foundations. And this is when I said, like, okay, guys, we need to have this training because I need to have this strong base and to have all of those tools, let's say, given to me in a healthy manner in order for me to deliver the work that is supposed to be delivered. So this is how I started looking for BD trainings, and this is how I found the BD school training.
Yeah. Good, very good. And well, of course, so I mentioned at the beginning that you actually took two courses with us because we did the certification program. And then on top of that, also the cold outreach course, mostly because at that moment you were using a lot of cold outreach. So tell us a little bit more about the training. How was the experience? Just a little bit in general, what you found once on the inside of the BD school.
So I think it's something like I keep on saying over and over again. Like people are not really fully aware of what a BD role is. And I think it is like there's always this blurry line on what the role and the actions from a BD should be. And I think it gave me this really like clear structure and strategy on everything, whether it's like understanding the company, understanding, our targets, our client personas, understanding their pain points, really like having this understanding of, first market research, understanding who's our target, kind of crafting this message that we want to get to them. How do we get their interest? So it was a very it was a very strong structure to have like as a course. It gave me all of the tools certainly to like be able to deliver something much more professional. And then the outreach, I think it was like the topic that I was struggling with the most because there are so many different things out there on the internet. It's a bit wild, like, there are some things about how to call, there are some trainings, there are some good, some bad. I had no clue where to direct these, as an architecture firm, how do I present what we are selling? Like a lot of the stuff I was finding online were more like products that you are able to sell kind of on the phone or services that you're able to sell. it I don't think you should be able to just sell a building first to someone that's absolutely not interested. I mean, it's slightly different. So it was so good to have, you that is, giving me this healthy base to understand where I'm coming from and understand kind of where I want to go get to. So we could also draft all of these things together. This was like the most helpful part, I think, for me,
Oh.
because it was like the biggest struggle.
That's very good. I was actually about to ask you, what is the thing that you like the most about the training? So yeah, I guess this aspect of working together, which is also something, as a trainer, I never stop saying that, but I love that because I really find like it's really a two ways, it's really a win-win situation, right? I got to know a lot more about the architectural world. I didn't know much except that some buildings are really nice. That's pretty much it. But then you really helped me to understand a little bit better this industry. So I like this two ways training, two-way learning experience, let's say. So what else, if any other thing that you really enjoyed the most about the training?
Well, I think the main point would still be the fact that we are having these courses on like a one-on-one. It's not like something you're just following online or just, reading and then you just have to find a way to apply it. The fact that we were having all these hours together, it's like I could always get this personalized kind of content and I could always have my questions answered. There's no like delay or having to wait or like not understanding. It was just, I think, the best way to do this training. The best.
Very good.
Because,
I'm very happy to hear.
yeah, because like, it's if you're in a class with other people online, it's not the same. If it's just something you're reading and at some point you're getting an online exam, it's not the same. So for me, it was really the game changer, the fact that we're having this like one-on-one sessions. And then we could also decide how often do we want to have them. I did not have to stick to someone, a schedule of a school, a class, someone else's.
Mhm.
It was pretty flexible. So this was really valuable.
I'm very, very happy to hear that because like we really are proud of our flexible approach, but mostly of the personalization of the experience, right? Which at the end, it's you said it before, right? So BD is quite confusing and a very big field. So it wouldn't really make sense to just have one thing that fits all because it just simply doesn't. You cannot do that. So that's it's not feasible. So very good to hear. And in terms of really outcome of the training, right? So now it's been 3-4 months since we finished the courses. So what is the impact that you see, or like let's say in practice, how does the training help you?
Let's say I have definitely gained much more confidence in what I am doing and in the way that I present the work of the company to people. Um, and then I'm so like reassured in a way because like I know that whenever I encounter something like absolutely unknown to me that I could always like reach out to you and be like, hey, I'm in trouble maybe for this because I don't understand the full extent of how to deal with it. And I know that you're here for support in case. So I think like definitely the confidence has been a game changer. And of course, I mean, like I said, you gave me all those tools and taught me how to use them. So it's not like just you threw them at me. It's like you really taught me how to use them. So I feel like I'm much more confident in what I'm doing. And I feel like the people are more responsive to what I'm speaking about or what I'm messaging them about, which is ideally the actual perfect result, right?
Oh, that's very good. And just a little bit more on the BD tactics, right? Because when we started again, you were really adamant on doing modules on cold outreach. So then eventually we went for these because, of course, in the company was a tactic that was already being used and so on. Um, was there anything else, that you integrated in your approach, which is not just cold outreach, And yeah, is there any other thing?
So I think for me, it was a game changer to explain to them how to understand the market, to be honest. Because, I feel in a lot of cases, those companies are just, like, hey, go and get us these clients without really understanding who this client should be or like how to actually get to them. They're just, they want you to go and find it. Bring us more jobs, bring us more projects, and that's it. So it's for me like this market research was so much a key component that I think it's helping them also understand their own branding somehow. You know what I like? Do not go out there and get whatever. Get out there what is yours. And I think this is something that I had not found online for sure. Like how to, it's not part of the BD research that I had done, like how to actually understand the market, do this market research, understand all the client personas, understand how to target them. This was like really super valuable. And I think that they appreciated it.
Ah, very good,
I
very
mean, I
good.
believe the more you're niche, the more you're gonna find, the right people that would want your projects or your products or your services. So
I'm very proud that you mentioned the customer research because that's something that I'm super like very picky, and I always tell to every student like, sorry, you're not gonna get rid of the research part
yeah.
because once you have that done, everything becomes a lot more easier, right? So in terms of channels and messaging, value proposition, so everything is so much smoother. So I think okay, well, it's a bit of time at the beginning, but then you reap the fruits for a very long time. So that's I'm very happy to hear. And if you had to describe the experience at the BD school in, let's say, one word, how would you describe it?
Oof, just one.
Oh, maybe two or three.
Um, I would say successful. Like for me, it was just like it worked, it clicked, and it flowed. So if it has to be one, successful.
Oh,
And
very good. I,
yeah.
I like this. I like this. We can keep it with one word. That's good. I'm
Okay, let's
happy.
take it. Let's take it.
Nice. And let's say so, of course, there is probably someone listening to our chat today, or maybe just browsing around on our blog, on our YouTube, our courses, and so on. And maybe, there it seems great, but they have that little bit of doubt, right? So, what would you tell to someone that is considering to take training with the BD school, but, is not entirely sure? What would you recommend them?
Well, I think if they're having any doubts, it's probably related to the fact that they're not sure that they're gonna find exactly what they need. And I feel like exactly because this type of training is so adaptable and flexible to the person, to the role, to the company, that, to the situation that they're in, I think it is the right training to have because it's so like personalized. I would say like don't hesitate. Even if like maybe some of the modules don't seem as complete as you might think, I think they are. I think they definitely are. And I think also like if they just book, for example, a discovery call with you, they would get a sense of what to expect, how you can help them. And I think for us, like from the first call, it just also clicked.
Totally, totally. Yeah, I think it was also like we discovered to have a lot of things in common as well, which was also, of course, like it always makes the experience much better. But I agree with you. I think, yeah, having a call is always a good option, even if you decide not to take the training, but really just to see like what's the approach of the other person, right? So, and I really hope that these videos as well are helping people, make up their mind and see if we're the right fit or not. All right. Well, Jessica, that was also my last question. Thank you so much. I mean, it's always a pleasure to talk to you, of course. But we will continue that on Instagram. So, and I will keep following your BD adventures around Europe for now, but
Yeah.
probably around the world soon. So, thank you so much for being with us today and helping other business developers know more about us. Have a great day and see you soon.
Thank you so much, Cecilia. Bye bye.